Well, today is the last meeting before the mid-test. And I think for this subject, today is the last meeting for me, because the following meetings after mid-test, Dr. Mualimin, and the following meetings after the mid-test, Dr. Mualimin will teach you.
Madam, may I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
In previous semester, we also saw that you changed our teachers after midterm test, and for finals, you you all gave us new teachers. Why you do that?
We are teaching. We have for the team teaching and teaching you. So every subject there are 2 teachers. So it is the
Okay.
policy of the department. Maybe you can ask Dr. Agus.
No, I'm asking generally. Because
Yeah.
here we have only one teacher for whole semester, but I
Oh,
see that.
you mean for the cognitive linguistics?
Yeah,
Yeah.
here in Pakistan, if I say that, so we have only
Uh,
one teacher for whole semesters, and but when I took your classes, then I feel that you always change our teachers before midterm test, after midterm test.
mm. But what do you think?
I think one teacher is better because we often feel that
Mm,
our mind stop working, like one teacher teaches another thing, and other teacher comes to teach another thing. So this
mm-hmm.
create one kind of mess in our study.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you can express your comments to the department to
No,
when you
no.
have when you have to evaluate. I think there will be an evaluation form, so you
Okay,
can
ma'am.
give your comments or you can give your suggestion. But
Right, ma'am.
yeah, I think it is okay. It doesn't matter. We are open to be criticized or to be evaluated. And we have to evaluate every semester. And even now, I think since it is the last meeting for me, so you have to give evaluation for me, especially for today, the subject needs analysis and syllabus design. Maybe I give you 5 minutes to express or to evaluate my teaching. So I think we will do better in the future. It is very important.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
um, but ma'am, your way of teaching is very good. You teach us creatively, and that gives me so much pleasure, as well as I understand many things.
Mm.
That's why I asked, why are you teaching? Why
Oh,
are you
I
changing your teacher?
yeah. But I think team teaching can complement each other. What I mean is that maybe I lack in a certain aspect, and then the other teacher will support or will give more benefit or will give more advantage on a certain aspect. So we can complement each other. We can make it complete. So we hope that by having team teaching, our teaching will be better. Yeah, but maybe you have different perspective. And I think it is the last meeting for me, and it deals with assessment and evaluation. So your evaluation is a part of syllabus design. So based on your evaluation now, and then uh, I will um, tell, or I will inform Dr. Mualimin about your evaluation. So what we will do is much better, will be much better than now. Okay, what
Layered
about
of
the
features.
yes? Yeah. What about the others? What about the others?
Mom?
Misaki?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think your speaking is very comfortable for me, so I
Mm,
can understand easier.
mm.
I just worry that the next teacher will speak fast and difficult because you explain very well. Then you speak slow, so
Okay.
I can understand easier, very easier.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So I will inform this. Yeah, to the next teacher. Don't worry. No worries, I think.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Misaki.
I
What
will
about the
miss you.
others? Yeah, we will miss you too. Okay, Han, Sarfaraz, Nan,
Yes,
Nurul.
actually,
Yes, yes, Nan, Han.
for me, actually, I like your subjects very much. I always tell you that cognitive linguistics was my favorite subject. I liked it the most out of all subjects. But this semester, I do not really like those semesters. But I believe that the policy that you're following in the department is quite useful. But yeah, a little
Mm,
bit we get distracted when you change teacher. But I think you have perspective in doing that, so I'm okay
mm,
with it. I prefer
oh,
to have one
mm,
teacher, but still I don't really mind it that much. I mean, because
mm,
I know that you have perspective in doing that.
mm. Yeah.
Thank you so.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. What about the others, Sarfaraz?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, in my point of view, the way you teach us is very simple and really and I understand clearly and the things you express and deliver to us. And I really don't. It's really very appreciative by you that I don't even consider that I am speaking with foreigners.
Okay.
The style is very simple, and the things you makes us for us is easy to understand. All things
Okay.
are very easy. Thank you so much, Mara. And yes,
Okay.
of course, since for our last semester and this semester, we are understanding clearly.
Mm, mm. Yes. Okay. So hope that you will be successful, all of you. You can complete, you can finish your study on time. 2 years is enough for you to complete MA degree. Even me, I could complete my study for the MA degree less than 2 years, and for PhD degree less than 3 years. So, but we have to work hard for this. We have to focus on our study, and then we have to meet all the requirements. For example, on publication, even on publication, at that time I was required to write to publish one article, but I sent to the department 3 articles as the requirement for attending the exam, the thesis, I mean the dissertation exam. So I think nothing is impossible, nothing is difficult. What we can do is focusing on our commitment that today or in these years you are studying at a master program in linguistics at UNDIP. So you have to fulfill, you have to meet all the requirements, and I think the timeline is designed. I think many students can complete or can finish their study before or less than 2 years. So I'm sure that you will be successful.
Ma'am, may I ask,
Yes, yes, of course.
ma'am, how is the situation now in the university and about the cases of COVID-19 in Indonesia?
Mm, yeah, Sarfaraz. Sorry, I can get your point.
Ma'am, I am asking that how is the situation now in Indonesia about the virus? Is it
About the virus, yeah,
con-
we still, I think the policy seems that still the same. So dealing with the COVID, you mean?
yeah, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah.
that is, do domestic students attend classes and
No, no,
still
no.
not?
Still online. Okay, all subjects are online now.
Oh, right.
The last semester we have hybrid class for certain classes, only a small number of classes. But then, since the rising cases happens in February, so the classes are conducted online, full online, no hybrid, and it is still locked down. The campus, no one enter except the authorities. I mean, the dean and also the staff. Even me, I have to stay at home to teach online or to teach you virtually. But someday or sometimes, if it is a must for me to come to campus and I'm invited, and then I come to campus unless I have to stay at home. But actually, it is getting clearer and clearer now. The COVID is getting clearer. Yeah, we hope that. But in outside campus, I mean, in the society, the living is back to normal. But we have to conduct health protocol. So we have to wear masks. But about the distance, uh, it is changing. I mean, strict there is no strict regulation about keep distancing, but wearing mask is obligatory. Okay, well, I think let's go back to our topic. And I think this is the last topic to discuss because it will complete your work in the mid test. Yeah, the mid test will be conducted next week, but the mid test will be uh, on submitting a paper. I mean, you have to. The paper here is not article, but the paper is in the form of syllabus. Yeah, because I will give you the format what you have to write. So next week on Wednesday, you have to submit. So far, every week you have you have, you have something to discuss, something to present, but they are presented discreetly. How to conduct need analysis, how to design instrument, and then how to conduct need analysis, and then you have to present the result. But now in the mid test, you have to put them together in one paper. So this will be systematically presented. You will write it systematically. So I will give you, I will show you the format when I assign you the mid test. I give you the assignment. Okay, so today the part that we are discussing is assessment and evaluation, because in conducting language program, in conducting any program, assessment and evaluation are two components that are very important. Assessment can be used to show the learning progress, how much the learners can engage your materials, can engage the content of the learning. While evaluation will measure how success is the program. So assessment is to measure learners' progress or learners' improvement, while evaluation will assess or will measure the success of the program in terms of um, the method of teaching, in terms of classroom activity, in terms of facilities. Yeah, so there are so many components that we have to deal with. So this course will present the purpose, function, method of assessment, and the evaluation of the learning process. To use appropriate measurement in assessment, the test or assessment makers should consider validity and reliability of the instrument. I think another lecturer has given you how to measure validity and reliability, especially in research method. Yeah, how to validate and how to make the instrument reliable, how to measure the validity and reliability. And then there are two keys. There are two keys for constructing instrument, namely validity and reliability. Types of validity and reliability are also discussed. Besides, the difference between assessment and evaluation is also presented in order that the students will be able to plan the curriculum or the syllabus by including assessment and evaluation. In other words, your mid-test will present your plan, your syllabus, your syllabus that you are planning for the future, for the next program, or for the program that you are conducting or that you are running. The purpose and functions of assessment, I took this from Noonan. There are two terms, assessment and evaluation. So assessment is measuring learners' placement, learning progress, and also learning achievement. So there are three stages: placement. By assessing them, you will be able to place them in suitable class, in a suitable group. For example, in placement test, you will be able to place them whether they belong to intermediate level or elementary level or advanced level, or maybe they belong to ESP class or EAP class. So depending on the need analysis that you have. But there is a tool, there is a method that you have to, there is an instrument that you have to use to assess them. in order to place them. So beside need analysis, you can assess to know the level of the competence. Yeah, and I think it includes current level of performance. So from the assessment, and then you will be able to place them in a suitable place, in a suitable class, in a suitable group. And then when you are running the program, you have to assess the progress, the learning progress. And also at the end of the program, you have to show the learning achievement. Whether the learners have achieved their goal or not. So by assessing them, and then you will be able to measure, you will be able to see their achievement. And then in evaluation is measuring the whole language learning program. So it is not only to see the students or the learners achievement, but this evaluation will see the whole language learning program in terms of the methods, in terms of facilities, in terms of students interaction, in terms of classroom management, in terms of materials. So all aspects in learning will be evaluated. Assessment can be done by testing, or by observing, or by having project work. Yeah, by having project work. And I think for my subject, I always ask you to have project work to make it real. So I'm not only talking about theories. Since you belong to applied linguistic group, what you have to do is doing project. Designing syllabus in need analysis and design syllabus. And then the second one in materials development, you have to design it. So the assessment for these two subjects, need analysis and materials development, I will use project work. But I have let you, I have assisted you to deal with each point in the project. For example, in this subject, you are conducting need analysis, you are designing the instrument, and then presenting the result, and then interpreting or applying the result of the analysis to design syllabus in terms of content, sequence, etc. Yeah. And then kinds of assessment, we have formative tests, summative tests. Yeah, so there are two kinds of tests. Formative and summative tests can show the rank of learners in relation to each other. For example, in formative tests, yeah, you will be able to see how the learners position in the class, in the group, how or what ranks do they have. Do they have the 5 best, or the best, or the 10 best? So by conducting formative tests, you will be able to see the ranking of the learners. And how to grade them, There are two types, norm reference or criterion reference. Norm reference is conducted if you use the best of the class is the higher score, is the highest rank you decide. For example, if the higher score, actually you have 100, yeah, the highest is 100. But in this class, for example, the highest score, the student only reach 85, for example. So 85 will be A. 85 will be A. And then the rest, yeah, you can count it, or you can formulate it. You can formulate it. You can formulate, I mean, or you can present the formula. Okay, so for example, if 85 is A, what about B? What about C? What about D, etc. But in criterion reference test, you have to decide. You have designed the criterion on the criteria to rank the students. For example, the criteria so you have to decide first. The criteria will be 90 to 100 A, and then maybe 76 to 89 will be B, etc. So if the I mean, if the students or the learners get 80, for example, all of them not less or not more than 80, so all of them will get B. So no A, because they could not reach the highest criterion. The highest criterion for A is 90 to 100, but they get 80, so there is no A in the class. Criterion reference test here is describing the criterion or the standard of learning achievement. So you have a criterion first. Maybe quantitative, maybe qualitative criteria that you give. So far, do you have any questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
It's Iponda. Ma'am, I'm just wondering, are you lecturing us according to your PPT? If so, please kindly share your screen with us.
Oh, Astaghfirullah. I
Thank you,
always
ma'am.
forget, yeah. I always forget to. Sorry. I stop sharing and then I forget to reshare. Reshare the PowerPoint. Oh my goodness. So this is what okay, now can you access?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ifonda. Okay, this is the purpose and functions of assessment. And then kinds of assessment: formative, summative, norms reference or criterion reference. Two requirements for assessment: validity and reliability. In order, these two requirements can be used to see whether the assessment whether the assessment can assess what it should sorry whether the assessment can assess what it should assess and do it consistently. So validity here and reliability can be understood that assessment, the assessment that you have, should assess what it should assess, and the assessment should do it consistently. If your assessment fulfills or meets these two requirements, and then your assessment can be accepted, can be used. So that's why sometimes you have to try out the test or maybe the instrument in order to see the validity and reliability. Validity. If we or to see validity, we have construct validity, and then content validity, and criterion related validity. Construct validity reflects the theoretical framework of the skills being accessed. So reflects the theoretical framework of the skills being accessed. So it depends on the theoretical framework you have in teaching them, in teaching the learners. So the theoretical framework will be the basis of you constructing the test or constructing the assessment, because assessment can be test, can be a test, can be observation, can be simulation or project work. So it depends. Yeah. For example, in my previous subject on cognitive linguistics, I asked you to make or to have an article talking about a topic in cognitive linguistics. So I will assess. I assessed you based on the theories that I gave you. So in constructing the assessment, I will consider. I think I considered many aspects. Aspect the students and also aspect the content of the assessment. If I think the assessment will be different if the learners are graduate students or undergraduate students. So I have to consider those. From the project you have done or you did, I will see whether you have engaged the theories that I presented to you. So from the explanation from your paper, I can observe, I can understand you, how much you can achieve, how much you can engage. And I can categorize whether you really understand or comprehend the theory or not. So from the project, I can see what you have in your mind, because what I can assess is what is written in the paper. So that's why the grading is based on the content, the organization, and also the language. How deep the content is. This is construct validity. Yeah. So in giving assessment or in designing the test, for example, you have to consider the content of the learning. The content that is based on that reflects the theoretical framework that you use. For example, in cognitive linguistics, the theoretical framework, of course, cognitive linguistics. So the project that you did is measured based on the cognitive linguistic framework. But if you have a different or another theoretical framework, and then you will see from the theoretical framework that you use. This is construct validity. And then content validity is to represent or will represent or is representing enough sample of ability. And then criterion related validity is related to how the assessment, the test, or the observation or the project will measure the ability of the learners. Okay, now I think it is time to discuss. Do you have any comments? Do you have any views on this? So in dealing with validity and reliability, there is a question. There is a popular question whether it is valid or not to measure or to assess learners' achievement, learners' placement, or learners' progress. Is it valid or not valid? It is the best question. Well, anyone can will give views on this? Do you have any comments? So before applying the test, yeah, if you are designing a test, before applying the test, you have to check the validity and reliability by giving them by having by trying it out. So you have try out for the test, and then you will see the result. And then from the result, you will check. You will be able to check whether the test reflects the theoretical framework of the skills being assessed, or it represents sample of ability or not. And what about meeting criterion? So from the test, from the tryout, you will be able to check the validity and reliability. Any comments? Are you with me now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you.
Yes.
Still thinking.
Okay. I'm afraid you are leaving me.
No, ma'am.
Okay, now what about reliability? Reliability deals with how measurement error influences test or assessment. For example, variation in scores caused by factors unrelated to the ability being assessed. Conditions of administration, test instruction, vetting, guessing. So those deal with reliability. For example, you gave a test but in a noisy place. Or maybe the instruction is not clear. It is multi-interpretable. Or maybe the students are fatigued or they are exhausted. So the condition of doing the test does not support. And then the students only guess the answer. So this will not assess, this will not consistently do. The result will not be consistent. So guessing does not reflect, yeah, does not reflect the examples of ability. Or guessing does not reflect ability, the samples of ability. Can you add more? Beside conditions of administration, test instruction, vetting, guessing, and then what else? Can you think of factors that can affect or that can cause unreliability of the test? So you have to test and retest the reliability to see the consistency. So try out can be done not only once, But the tryouts should be done in different group. Similar, but different group. So you are not trying out with the same group, no, or with the same learners. Any questions? Hello?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I think for teachers, it is not a new thing because you have practice. Yeah. Okay, and then what is the purpose of assessment? According to Brinley, edited by Carter and Noonan, the purpose is to select. That is to determine whether learners have enough language mastery to be able to join university program. It is one of the purpose of assessment. Yeah, selection. You are selecting learners in order to join your program, for example. So everyone who is joining the program should be assessed. So it is the purpose is to select. That's why selection, yeah, university selection. And the second is to earn certification or to get certification. To give people evidence of their competence for job. For example, as a lecturer, I have a certificate. If I'm an assessor, so I have a certificate to see my eligibility to be an assessor, lecturer's assessor. So I assess the lecturers about uh, their work, yeah, their career. Okay, and then number 3, accountability. So the purpose of assessment is to see the accountability of the program. To show education parties the evidence regarding how learning results have been obtained and how the expenses have been spent. So by having assessment, we will have evidence regarding how learning's results have been obtained and how the expenses have been spent. Assessment can also be used to diagnose, to show learners' ability. For example, during mid-test, or maybe you have every month ongoing test, ongoing assessment, for example, to diagnose. And then number 5, instructional decision making, to decide what material to use next or what to revise. So from the assessment, I can decide whether I have to revise the lesson plan or not for the future, for the next semester. And every semester or every year, I always revised my teaching. There are many points to revise. Maybe the materials, maybe the sources, maybe the teaching method. So there are many points to revise in order that we can make it much better. Or sometimes we have to adjust to the students. So revision here, for me, I have ongoing revision. Ongoing revision. So in order to adjust to the learners, I always revise both, the lesson plan. And then purpose of assessment is to be a motivation or to motivate the learners. For example, to encourage students to learn harder. For example, if the achievement is not quite good, and then they will be motivated to learn better. Well, in language teaching program, we have self-assessment. What do you think of self-assessment? What do you think of self-assessment? And how self-assessment is done or is carried out? As a student, I think you have to think of self-assessment, or maybe implicitly or indirectly, actually you have assessed yourself about your ability in every subject you are attending. Okay, what do you think of self-assessment?
Hello, Ibu.
Yes, Hen.
Assess ourselves.
Yes, Latin. Okay. Actually, for me, I think self-assessment is like to detect within myself the weakness, points of weakness and the points of strength,
Yeah.
and try to work on those of weakness. Yeah. Try to develop myself.
Yes.
Yeah. So for example, for me, I think that the subject that I have a lot of weaknesses is statistics. I don't like mathematics at all. Anything that has to do with mathematics, don't like it.
I see.
I'm trying my. I think, for example, my papers need to have more references. Need to work harder for those references. Um, I have a lot of ideas, but maybe I need to reconstruct them and organize them in a very organized way rather than having them like randomized ideas like that. So for me, I need more organization, I think.
Yeah.
More reading as well. Yeah.
Okay. What is the advantage of self-assessment?
Is that we always in a process of developing ourselves to be a better version of ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. What about the others?
Be aware of my current ability.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm,
So
that is a
by
good one.
having self-assessment, you will be aware of your current ability.
Yes.
Good.
So I can not only see the good point and bad point, but bad points, so I can find out how to improve myself.
I see. What about the others? Okay, let's continue. Now, evaluation. I took this from Fred Genesee in Carter and Noonan. There are four basic components of evaluation. You have to articulate or to express the purpose for evaluation, and then identify and collect the information, analyze and interpret information, and then make decision. Nowadays, I think it is very helpful to have a Google form. I think the Google form will tell you directly the result, and also it is very efficient and effective, very efficient in having a Google form. Yeah, but I think it is one of the means or one of the tools to evaluate the program. Okay, do you have something to comment dealing with the four basic components of evaluation? Okay, later you have to practice, yeah. What kind of evaluation will you have? Some basic points and other factors to consider in classroom-based evaluation. Student needs and abilities. So you have to match, you have to see the instructional objectives. And then instructional plans and instructional practices. How student achievement. Student needs and abilities, community attitude, teachers' abilities and training, time and resources, and professional support in the district. So in classroom-based evaluation, you will see all of these: the instructional objective, the instructional plans, the instructional practices. It is classroom-based evaluation. The emphasis of the evaluation is to multiple types of information, student achievement, attitude, learning style, needs, and aspiration. And then two alternative and varied methods of information collection to complement tests. Then concerns for both the processes and the product of teaching and learning, criterion reference, standard-based and objective-based interpretation of student learning, and inclusive participation, including visible and strong roles for teachers, students, and where appropriate parents. So evaluation, I think, has a broad area. Yeah, it is not only learners or teachers, but learners, teachers, stakeholders, yeah. Stakeholders. For example, about certification. If you are conducting a program for giving certificate, and I think the evaluation is not only coming from the learners or the teachers, but also from stakeholders. And then what kinds of evaluation will you have for your program? That is, I think, the last question. And you have to think and you have to express now. You have to think it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then after that, you have to present. What kinds of evaluation will you have? Actually, there are two questions. What kind of assessment you will have, and what kind of evaluation will you have? So in the for the mid test, you have to complete two items here, 2 points: assessment and evaluation. I think you have done, or you have presented, yeah, the need analysis, the content, okay, the sequence, and then now the evaluation. If you I think you have to design the assessment. If you will give them tests, you have to write or to design tests. If you have observation, and then you have to write the guidance for observation. What to observe, when to observe, how to observe. There are many things to take notes. So in observation, you have to take notes to document the observation. You have to document maybe photos, maybe audio or video recording. And then for the project, you have to give the instruction about the project. And then in the assessment, you have to decide what on which type of test you will use. Norm reference test or criterion based reference test. And then in evaluation, you have to pinpoint what is evaluated. If the assessment, if the emphasis is on student achievement, attitude, learning style, needs, and aspiration from the stakeholders, so you have to give evaluation on that, on those categories, on those aspects. How to see attitude? Maybe what you can see is the indicators of attitude, not the real attitude, the indicators. And attitude here can be cognitive, can be affective, can be psychomotor. If they know that English is important, so it is cognitive. I know English is very important. But if they say, I like English, so it is affective attitude. And then, well, I learn English. Sometimes I learn privately. Sometimes I invite teachers to teach me. Sometimes I read book, I watch movies, listening to the music, etc. Those are psychomotor. So you are implementing what you like. But when we are conducting research on attitude, sometimes these three types are not matching each other. They know that they know English is very important, but they do not learn it. They love English, but they do not learn it. From the evaluation, and then you will be able to have decision, to make decision. What kind of attitude they have, what kind of learning styles they have, what are their needs, and what aspiration do they give to you. Okay, now please answer my question. What kind of self-evaluation, what kind of uh, assessment you will have, and what kind of evaluation will you have? So there are two questions. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, who will present first? Sarfaraz, for your students, so what kind of assessment will you give?
Ma'am, for my students, I will present type of assessment in which there are both types of components. I mean, reliability and validity too. So, for assessing their ability, I may for their we can say that if their class is lower, I mean that if they are in their first year class, so according to their ability, I will have to design the test. And
So,
for
so you
for
will give them a test?
yeah, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
there are a number of methods that their language abilities can be assessed throughout.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe I personally can conduct just interviews, or maybe in the form of written test, or but according to the level, if they are able to speak, then it would be possible to engage them in interviews. If not, then uh, I will give them test, written test.
Yeah. Okay, written test. And I think there are many types of tests, objective test or subjective test.
Yeah, ma'am. And
Mhm.
simply, so if they are more clever, then a subjective test. If not, if the participants are low in number, then objective test would be possible for them.
Mhm.
sometimes it happens in the class that we usually conduct objective test without knowing the students, oh sorry, subjective test without knowing the students ability.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be inappropriate for them, because what sometimes we can measure their skills or assess their skills in objective test too. I know there are the chances of guessing as where these are were coming in the validity. So, but and there are also some advantages of this test.
Mm.
And second question, evaluation uh, can
Yes.
be evolution can be done. I mean, what I make interest, what makes me interesting is that group discussion, whether
Mm.
in the form of written task or in the oral discussion,
Mm.
or I may conduct a type of group discussion where each group can be divided into the 5 or 6 students, and among them I could choose uh, a student who can conduct their discussion too.
Mm.
I mean conductor. So group discussion in my point of view would be
Yeah.
kind of evolution that we can
Okay.
measure there.
Yeah. Whatever you choose. Yeah. For this mid test. What what whatever I mean, what kinds of whatever you choose dealing with assessment or evaluation, you have to justify. You have to clarify. For
Yeah,
example, if you use assessment, if you use test, for example, what kind of test, and then even the sample of test,
yeah,
yeah,
ma'am. And
the
the
sample of test, yeah,
detail description about the test,
yes, of course,
the
yeah,
figures of the students, and
yes,
how that is conducted in the class, administration of
yeah,
test, overall detail.
yeah, yes. Okay, what about the others? Maybe Nurul or Misaki or Han.
Yes, Ibu.
Yeah. So what kinds of assessment will you have?
Maybe it's gonna be just like Surferaz. It's gonna be exam for evaluation
Mm,
the students. And maybe I
mm.
don't mind having something like um, portfolios for the students.
Oh,
Give
okay.
them final projects, for example.
Mm. Yeah, you
So
have to choose which one
you go
is
for
affordable. Yeah, is suitable for them.
maybe final project.
A project. And then
Yeah, final project.
what kind of project will you ask them?
Um, yeah, for example, to design a story in Arabic
Oh,
and
I
to read it,
see.
to present
Or
it. Yes.
maybe to write a report, trip report, travel report.
Yeah,
So
this is gonna
after
be very
after sightseeing, because
yes,
as you told me, I mean, I think as you stated in the previous meeting that you will um I
make them
mean you
interact.
will, yeah, make them,
Yes.
yes.
Go
Mm-hmm.
to places and then
Yeah.
narrate the places and the attractions of the place in their own
Mm-hmm.
way. Actually, I remember when I was in Indonesia, since
Mm.
you just mentioned it, Ibu, I had my class of learning Indonesian. Then
Mm.
the lecturer responsible for our class, he used to take us to places like the waterfall and
Mm.
the traditional restaurants for Indonesian food. And then
Mm.
at the end of the day, he would tell us you're supposed to write a report about the day from the beginning till you went back home. Then we would
Mm.
write everything about the food and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a very good idea to ask them to write a report, for example, about a recipe food or a day that's they spent visiting some places, visiting restaurants. Then they write everything and then they present it orally and in a written form as well. It's gonna be a very
Mhm.
good idea and
Yeah.
interesting for them as well.
Yeah. So there are many types of assessment. I think maybe you may have more than one.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think final project it won't give them much stress because they
Yeah.
already know that they have time and they have deadline and they already
Mm-hmm.
know. So they know how to manage the time. It's not like standardized tests or examinations. It gives a lot of headache and it makes the students feel stressed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, me even in deep, I prefer when we have final projects. Yes, it needs a lot of effort and
Yeah.
it needs a lot
Yeah.
of work.
Because you are graduate students.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Yeah. In a graduate student, you have to explore much more and more
Yes, but I mean,
by
it gives us more
conducting.
scope. Scope. Yes.
Yeah. By conducting project work, and then you have to make effort for reading, for browsing sources, for finding data. Yeah. So there are
Yes,
a lot of experiences that you
we
do
need to
not
acquire.
have. Yeah, you do not have in the classroom. Okay, what about the others?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hello.
ma'am.
ma'am.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
none.
okay, okay.
Because
None.
Yeah, yeah. Please continue, Nan.
None. Yeah, please. It seems that I haven't see your. Okay, none. Oh, Sada.
Yes.
Yeah, the attendance.
Ma'am, have you marked my
Okay.
attendance?
Yeah, I have done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay.
can I
Yes.
ask your opinion? For me,
Yeah.
is that my target students are really young. Like I told you before, the level is
Mm-hmm.
8. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm having some problem with thinking about assessment. So if I give them like a project or a group discussion, I think it's gonna be difficult for them. So I'm
Of
just
course.
thinking about how about using only questionnaire. Do you
Yeah.
think that is okay?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
Yes.
we have so we have to adjust
Yes. The level
uh
of the
to
student.
the uh, to the level of the students.
Yes.
And even in assessment, you have I mean, you have many types of tests: objective tests
Yes.
or subjective tests, yeah, or closed
Yes.
tests. As long as the test can reflect the student's ability or the learner's ability. So
Yes.
from the validity, we can see whether the test is valid for measuring the ability, for showing the ability or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So it
So
doesn't matter. That's why there are many alternatives. And I think it
yes.
depends on the learners.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's why I'm thinking like so for the evaluation, I'm thinking about using a questionnaire with the objective question, because like if I told them to write like a kind of like having a writing passage or any other thing, it would take
Mm,
many time, so they won't have enough time for the text. That's why I'm thinking
mm,
about making with the objective questions questionnaire, and
yeah.
then for the assessment is that
Yeah.
I will observe their
Mm,
their like
yeah.
how they
Okay.
work
during the class. I will base on that and then
Yes.
I will observe.
Yes. Yes. Observation can also be used to evaluate the
Yes.
program. Yeah.
Yes.
To see the to see the learner's achievement,
Yes.
the attitude, their participation in the classroom. So there are many points to see, or there are many points to observe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good, Nan.
Thank you.
Okay, well done. Stella, where is Stella? Does Stella belong to this class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Stella.
Okay, I think if I were to assess my students, I would make them make a presentation, like a project.
I see.
Maybe they can read an article, maybe from a newspaper or magazine, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they can listen to a video with a given
Mm-hmm.
topic,
I
and
see.
then from there they can make their presentation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so for everybody, because in evaluation, in assessment, you may have tests, observation, or project, and in evaluation you may have a questionnaire. Yeah, questionnaire can be open question or closed question, and then maybe interview or group focus group discussion. And then there are many possibilities to have evaluation or to evaluate your program. And I think for each you have to make it detailed. So your plan, your syllabus will be complete, will be comprehensive from the beginning, from the need analysis until the evaluation, because they are correlated each other, they are connected each other. Need analysis will be used to design the content, blah, 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 design syllabus. And then syllabus should be evaluated. The program should be evaluated. And the result of the evaluation will give or will show um, or will affect your policy. So maybe different, even you have the same subject to teach, but if you have parallel classes, maybe the process of teaching will be different, because um, because the characteristic of the learners are different, and that's why syllabus is like a guideline. Yeah, syllabus is like a guideline. And then in practice we do in practice we have to have ongoing revision. We have to adjust to the learner's needs, to the learner's condition, to the learner's uh, learning styles, learning strategies. Okay, thank you, Stella. Okay, what about the others? Francisca, I miss your voice, Francisca.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, what kinds of assessment and evaluation will you have?
I think I will give them like short answer questions, ma'am, to
Mm.
measure their ability and writing.
Okay.
by paper-based test.
I see.
And
And
about the evaluation that I'll use,
mhm,
it is a questionnaire with close
mm,
question.
good. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ifonda.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Okay. So for my teaching program, because the goal is to um widen their vocabularies, improving their grammars, and
Mm,
also their fluency. So it's gonna be like I'll have objective and subjective test.
mhm,
The subjective test is for the listening section. So they will watch a video and then
mm,
like sum up the video. It's gonna be
I
like short
see.
video, two to
Good.
3 minutes.
Mhm,
And to measure their their grammar, and also to uh and to measure their grammar and also vocabulary, there will be like okay, no, just for grammar, there will be objective test. So
mm,
I'll give like multiple choice question, and they should
mm.
answer it. uh,
Okay, great. Mhm.
so
Okay,
far
great.
that's all I have, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. We still have 4 minutes. I think dealing with assessment and evaluation, all of you have presented orally, and I think you will present it in detail, more details when you are writing your paper, yeah, your term paper for the mid test. Okay, now I think the evaluation I haven't uh, heard from none. The evaluation of this program. So we practice. We practice evaluate to evaluate. Hello, Nan. Give me, yeah, show me your evaluation about this subject. Because after this session, um, I think another teacher will teach you. Dr. Mualimin will teach you on. I think to continue the syllabus that, uh, yeah, the syllabus that we have designed. Hello, Nan. Can you listen to me?
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Yes, Nan.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So what is your evaluation concerning our program?
Yes, like I told you, just like that. So I'm thinking about making a questionnaire based on only objective questions.
No, I mean the evaluation. Your evaluation about this subject, this need
Uh,
analysis and syllabus
I'm
design that
sorry,
I'm
sorry, ma'am.
teaching you.
I'm
Yes.
I'm thinking about the program for the test. That's why, sorry, ma'am.
No,
Uh,
because here Sada, okay, Sarfaras, yeah, Nurul, and then Stella has
yes,
given me evaluation on this subject, and
yes,
also Francisca, mhm, and then Anisha, but Sadaf, no. Okay, so I'm begging you, yeah, to give me the evaluation
yes, ma'am.
for better
By
future.
yes, and I'm typing now, ma'am. Please wait.
Okay,
Yes,
and also the others who haven't uh, written here. Give me the evaluation on this subject. If you want, if you have something to suggest, and then please feel free. Don't hesitate to give suggestion for me. I will love to.
Ibu, then you won't be teaching us any other subject after this midterm?
I think the subject that you have to take in the third semester will be publication and thesis. So no more
Yes,
classes for you.
yes. We will miss having your classes. Me
Yeah,
myself.
if you are
Yes,
taking I
cognitive,
mean,
inshallah.
yeah, if you are taking the topics in the areas of my expertise, and then I will be happy.
Me too.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
as
Inshallah.
the supervisor, or as the yeah, supervisor can be for publication or for thesis, and or for thesis.
Inshallah.
Okay.
But Ibu, we don't have a schedule in third semester, right?
And the third semester, there is no so strict schedule,
Yeah.
but your own schedule will work, will be work.
Inshallah. Yes.
Yeah, I think you have to complete or to finish your study
Inshallah.
next year in June, if I'm not mistaken. Next year in June.
Yeah, ma'am. In June.
Yeah, next year in June.
Ma'am, in third semester, we just need to write down the proposal. And in fourth semester,
And
there
the
is a
third, yeah, the
thesis.
third, yes, in the third semester, you have to write
Yes.
proposal, and then to attend for the exam, proposal exam, and then for the publication, you have to write a paper, submit it to a journal, international journal. Yeah, for you, for foreign students, I think you have to write international journal. You have to publish your article to the. You have to submit your article to the international journal. But for domestic students, they can submit in the accredited nationally national accredited journal.
Yes. Inshallah.
Nationally accredited journal. Yeah, and we have one. I mean, one of the accredited journal in Indonesia with the second rank is Parol. Parol is one of the journals, the accredited journals. The second rank, Sinta 2. So in Indonesia, we have Sinta 1. So Sinta 1, so it is the first rank. The second rank is Sinta 2. The third rank will be Sinta 3. The fourth rank Sinta 4. The fifth rank Sinta 5. And the last one is Sinta 6. But for the requirements, I think you have for I think Dr. Agus has explained you this about the policy. The
We didn't
policy
get the
for the
chance to talk
foreign
about that.
students.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What I hope is your suggestion. Can you give me suggestion? Okay, Stella. I think in the even the third semester you have online, so you can consult your supervisor online or virtually.
Oh,
So no
okay,
worries.
okay,
No physical meeting, I think.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't get any suggestion from you. Why? I will be love to. Or you can send me to my email. You can send me to my email. My email is Deli Nirmala. If you are not comfortable to write it here, Deli Nirmala Live Undip ACAID. Yeah. Oh, I think Sandaf, I think you have to ask the international office, not me. Oh, what do you mean, Misaki? I want to get more real examples from your
Yeah.
experience. What
In
experience?
okay. Yeah.
What experience? What experience?
Oh, what the experience in this class, like making design and syllabus. So I wanted to get your
Oh,
experience more because
okay.
you're already
Oh,
professional.
oh, I
So
see.
in the class, uh, I wanted to have the based on your experience, you made
Mm.
what you made.
Yeah.
That I wanted.
What I made depends on um the government or the university policy in terms of the format. So for example, the format,
Oh,
because it is online class, so the format will be online, and it is very the syllabus will be different from what we had in the previous year. So every
oh
semester
yeah.
everything is changing. So um
Yeah.
I think I have shown you the learning contract and also the subject that we are learning, and
Okay.
the method that we are doing. Yes.
Mm,
Okay, thank you very much. I think time is
thank
over,
you.
and I think this is the last meeting for this semester. Maybe we will meet again in the next semester for the publication and thesis consultation. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you
Thank
so much, Ibu.
Thank
We'll
you
miss
so
having
much, ma'am.
you.
thank you
Thank
very
Thank
much,
you,
you.
mom.
ma'am.
Thank you.